Well, hello there, and welcome to the second episode of Louie's Drawn Fun Times. I'm your host, Louie, and I'll be talking about something I've been experimenting with lately, which is taking photos of sketchbook drawings and coloring them all nice and pretty in Photoshop. So, here what I've done with this little picture of a cat and some garden succulents is I took a photo, stuck it into Photoshop, and played with the levels until it got to be pretty clear-cut black and white, which is what you saw at the very beginning of the video. It's moving kind of quickly. It's 3 times speed, so I could get it under 10 minutes. So what I did is I played with the levels until it was pretty black and white, no weird off grays or anything like that, and then I said color burn and put a color underneath it. So here I have a kind of green, which I changed later, and it's fun because what you do is I approach it the way I do other paintings, which I paint in the silhouettes of stuff behind it. And you can see that I've done that in a red color, and here I'm experimenting with putting a pink and orange thing behind it, and I'm painting in a window. So it's just like fun to see like a little level of polish to some sketchbook drawings that usually wouldn't see that kind of thing, because I'm not much of a person who actually draws by hand very much. You know, I'm very used to the computer and not much by hand, which is, you know, a shame. So here's a kind of fun way to put it together. So here what I'm doing is painting a window behind it, which I drew in my original sketch, and here's a little technique I like to do a lot, which is using circle gradients and just like plopping in a lot of random ones, like not ordered, but like just to get a sense of the color so that I know like what it looks like, so indicating trees, and I'll be painting those in more fully later. So I've settled on a different background color, and I've got the window in there and all the silhouettes, so now I'm just going in and cleaning up stuff, you know. And this has been pretty fun for me, like as I was saying, because I'm not much of a traditional drawing person, but this has forced me to kind of do it. And I like the results at the end. They kind of have an organic feel to them that maybe is lost a little bit on some of my other digital drawings that are entirely digital. So yeah, what am I doing right now? Oh, I'm cleaning up the edges of the, so I can just go in and use a clipping mask on them, as I talked about in the first episode. It's been pretty fun. I enjoyed a lot. Oh, one thing that I've noticed, I've watched some other process vids of other artists, and oftentimes there's a lot of zooming in and crazy flipping and stuff that happens. As you can see, I am not much for that. I have not zoomed in a single time, and I don't think I zoomed in once during this entire painting. I don't know, I guess I just like seeing the whole thing, like all the time. Well, anyway, yep, so here I am painting in some leaves in the trees, like hinting at a little bit of form in them, so they're not just a bunch of random circles of green in the background, hinting at a little bit of leaves. You know, something I do want to do, some point in the near future, is some kind of challenge where, let's say I'll take the entire month of March, or a period of time, something like that, where I just do a different style every day. And my blog is called Drawing a Day, and I do try to do a drawing a day, but oftentimes I feel like I get stuck in a kind of stylistic rut where I kind of do the same thing over again. I mean, different subject matter, but same style. And I like to try out these different things. And maybe I'll do it. Maybe this March, maybe April. We'll see how busy I am. I'll try to do a different style every day. I think that'd be pretty cool. Stop, there's a cat meowing outside. But yeah, different style, like impressionist style painting. I think it'd be pretty cool if I do something like that, and if I just tackle familiar subjects such as, you know, things I love to draw, like Nintendo characters and cute, happy animals doing things like mowing lawns and gardening and things like that. You know, I think it'll be pretty cool to try something out like that. Anyway, back to the painting at hand. I am starting to block in colors on our kitty and some of the pots, and I know people always ask about how I choose color, and look at that. I mean, I just go into the color thing and just like bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't really know how I do it. I think you just need to take in a lot of different artists and look at like a lot of photography and stuff, and observe and just like see what kind of colors you like. And one thing that helped me a lot when I was starting is color dropping reference colors from photos that I like, so that I would paint a little below like swatches of it on the side, and then just use those colors and blend them and stuff, and use only those colors. And oftentimes it would get me a result that I was like pretty pleased with, and those colors that I wouldn't have chosen otherwise. And that is a fun way to build up your color vocabulary, shall we say. here I am painting in some of the trees and varieties of cacti and things that I have drawn here. I did reference these plants. I mean, they're pretty basic, but I did look for them on Google. I searched cute cactuses, and to my surprise, there were many different Tumblrs that hosted lovely cactus pictures. Seems to be a whole cactus community going on there, and that seems like something I would like to be a part of. Cactuses are very delightful little plants. Do you sometimes wish you could just have a room full of plants and cactuses and succulents and flowering plants and a kitten, and you could just sit in this room and daydream about where you want to go next? It seems like a lovely kind of situation. But then, of course, you'd have to go out and live those things, and that's an important part of art too, is actually doing stuff. Something that I haven't been too good about lately, what with a lot of work and stuff, but I used to, at least when I lived in Boston and I went to school in Boston University, I went out and walked a lot, and I did like many hour walks and just explored Boston and walked train tracks, possibly illegally, and just got the lay of the land and just explored a lot of places. And that was something that definitely influenced a lot of my art today. Now I'm working stiff. I'm working, and it's terrific. I love my work. I work at Cartoon Network as a revisionist. Can't talk about the show or anything, but it's a super great job. But that is something that I do miss, is like getting out and exploring a lot, because now I have a lot of obligations. I have to do things. I have freelance work. I have work. And then when I get home, I'm often just collapse into bed, put on some Let's Plays or something, and lay back and play guitar or something. I mean, that sounds pretty nice, but it's not adventurous. And adventure is kind of where you get a lot of your energy and inspiration for. Oh, wait, here I am. Okay, I'm putting on textures. That was really fast. I should have talked about that. Textures. I have a little collection of textures that I'll just drop in. I have a couple of favorite ones. I'm sure everyone does. Every artist does who uses Photoshop. There's just a collection of textures that you can just drop in, and the two settings that I use most, I mean, you use a lot of settings, but the two blending modes that I use the most are color burn and overlay. Oftentimes I'll have one texture as a color burn and one as an overlay, so that the darkening of one and the lightening of one cancel each other out, sort of, so that the colors remain fairly similar to my original, but it gives it some, needed grit to make it look a little less computery. Which, in this case, the actual sketch of having it being a photo of a sketchbook, like, adds to that grit already. But, yeah, so I'm basically done with the drawing here. Just adding some little details like dots and things. I have one dot brush, I forget where I got it from, but just splat that on anything and it makes it look like more magical somehow. Somehow dots are magical, I don't really know. Now I'm putting in some diamonds. Ugh, I shouldn't have really done that. That's kind of a silly thing to do. But it always looks nice. I like diamonds. I mean, that's Steven Universe's thing, isn't it? Ah, well. Well, this has been Louie's Drawing Fun Times. Thanks for joining me on this adventure.